Hi there. Please welcome now to the next podcast. We have today's guest, Eden Byrne. Welcome. I'm going to start with the very first question. Can you introduce yourself and tell me a small bit about about you?
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me on. It's really exciting. So I'm Eden, I'm 22 and I'm based in Belfast and I'm currently in my first year studying childhood and youth studies at university. But I also do a lot of like campaigning and advocacy work with different charities um around youth voice, mental health, physical health. And I also host my own podcast on sport and disability and inclusion. That's something I'm really passionate about. So yeah, that's a bit about me.
Very good. Thank you for that. I will go on to the next one. So from your introduction, you mentioned as for email going back from emails, you would care for your autistic brother. And can you tell me a bit about your brother who has autism and what you typically would do to help him out?
Yeah, so my brother, he is 19. He's just turned 19 last week or so. And he's had autism his whole life and he's nearly finished school. He's been at a special school since he was 4 or 5. So I've been kind of supporting him for a long, long time. But probably taken more of an active role as I've got older and become an adult. So kind of what that looks like in practice is just making sure that he's safe. He can't be left on his own. So being there to support him in terms of yeah, making sure he's safe and also providing that emotional support as well. Like there was a period of time where he was really struggling in school, struggling to go to school and with the school environment. So I think just really being there for him. Also like helping him, get food and stuff when he comes home from school. He can't do most of that by himself. So just being there for him practically. I think it's been quite hard to navigate managing caring as well as all the other stuff I do. I also live with some health conditions myself, so it's been quite tricky to kind of balance everything. But we have a really good relationship, and it's been, I think, being more present in his life as he's grown up and as I've grown up. It's really like kind of helped us to get on better and have that really close relationship. And yeah, we get on really well, so it's been really nice.
That's very great to hear. Even I see that's the other side of it too, as from other interviews that I've done, and it's just chatting to various other people. It's it's I've been focusing more on the autistic side, but where from it's great to get your view from a carer point of view because quite essentially I'm not um stereotyping here, but it's would be the view for a lot, but also at the same time they can do what they can do and wants to put their mind to it because nobody works as hard as as the autistic community.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think it's like being a carer and being involved in like I've been involved I'm in youth organizations and that kind of thing for around 5 years now, and I think like being a carer has also given me quite a lot of opportunities to like speak out about that experience and like the challenges and barriers that like they face, and also like yeah, just be able to share my voice and share other people's voices as well more broadly. So it's been there's definitely been some positives to it as well.
Aye, that's great. So we'll go on to the next question now. Do you think society has changed its view for the autistic community? As time is going on, I ask this to everyone to just get the different view from neurotypical people to autistic people, and it sort of gives a good conversation starter depending on what view, but collectively it's to get the one view to get the best possible outcome for individuals.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's definitely, I think there has been progress from my perspective, but I think it's very often area dependent, school dependent, it's very depend specifically depended on the system, I guess, that you're in.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, I know like I've also worked in I worked in a special school for a little bit, and I've also worked in a college supporting adults with learning disabilities. And I think it's very uh, it needs to be more tailored to their needs because sometimes it can be quite
Instead of
generic.
instead of just a one shoe fits all approach that's
Yeah,
got small but of flexibility, but it needs the more person-centered planning.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, these places a lot of the time they try and be inclusive, but what does is this actually put into practice and are things followed through, like reasonable adjustments, for example, is that conversation had maybe, but is it put in place quickly so that people can, get the support that they need? Is there follow-ups being done, check-ins on the person, how they're getting on, that kind of thing? Not all the time. So I think, yeah, it just needs to be more practically implemented and also individualized as well.
Yeah. So the so um, uh, so the we've asked about the last year the society question.
No.
No. Oh, so no. Do you think society's changed for the view of the autistic community? And it's just this is more personal personal view. Direct. It's not that you've got an answer. So take it away whenever you're got a wee second.
Yeah, so I think it has. I think it's been quite positive to see how in some um like instances, for example, like if I was doing a project, they would have like an easy read guide, or there's more conversations as well around reasonable adjustments, how you can support people with disabilities better as well. And I think hopefully it'll just continue to improve. And I think the more we speak out about the the challenges and speak out more about how we want things to be changed and what needs to be done better, people can actually listen to us and implement it. But I definitely think there has been some progress in specific areas, and even just personally, I've seen a lot of like more positive changes. So it's been good to see, but there is always room for improvement, as we know.
Yeah. There's always room to improvement, but it's like it's always going backwards more than going forwards for the right
Yeah.
reason. But all we can do is just you can try and keep pushing. Have you any questions for me?
Well, I was going to ask you the same question. Do you think that society's kind of changed their view, and how do you think that's kind of progressed?
I think society has changed its view, but I think personally there needs to be a more full in-depth understanding of like it's not just individuals are autistic, they need to do this in a certain routine. It's you've got that's the wider picture,
Yeah,
but if you delve deeper, person A is likes to do things quite rigid. Person B might want to do something that's wants to literally just go with the flow. And then even the way that it's like depending on like even it's just the how they manage within environments is totally different from the outside if they
yeah,
don't have the understanding of what's actually going on. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think there's quite a lot of like perceptions as well. Like you were saying, like there's just a lot of, I don't know, people just have views, and then you're like, well, that's not always realistic and not actually what is happening. Like you need to talk to the person, understand where they're coming from. That holistic piece is so important. So yeah, 100% agree.
Well, I know this was quite short, but thank you very much.
No worries, it's been really lovely. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.